And as a result, Casey Jones is going to put Kevin McHale on him, which will create, ironically, a matchup of Larry Bird guarding Bill Laimbeer. And before the game, Chuck Daly said, if that's going to be the matchup, I just may post up Laimbeer and have him go inside instead of his normal outside play. We'll see, Tom.
I think that's a good move on Chuck's part to try and do that. Bird is not a good low post defender.
So Parrish wins the jump, and the Celtics have the ball.
Celtics today, Dick, have to get more than 74 shots. That's what they turned up yesterday. They got to get up around the 80 range.
Bird, ball knocked away, 7 on the shot clock, and Seasting is short on a three-point attempt. But McHale converts the rebound.
Offensive rebounding not in evidence too much for the Celtics yesterday.
Or in this series, the Pistons have had the edge in the offensive rebound department in every game. They're posting up Laimbeer against Larry Bird. And Dantley forced to take an outside shot, hits to tie the game.
Now that's a big shot for Adrian Dantley against McHale. McHale will have to take an extra step out. That'll put speed back into Dantley's game.
Batted away. Laimbeer forced the turnover, and now the Pistons.
They need the same diversified attack that they had yesterday.
Dumars. Parrish the rebound. Dantley is on Bird on the other end. Parrish setting a screen. Watch for the pick and roll with Parrish and Bird, which has caused the Pistons problems in the first 2 games. Parrish with his first shot, air ball, and Mahorn has the ball in his hand.
Not an effective shot against a smaller player.
Thomas in the lane, gets the roll.
They back down, and Isaiah gets in the paint right now. He's going to be looking for his shot, it appears.
He spearheaded the Piston comeback yesterday. McHale works his way in. Johnson looking into Kevin, and a foul call. That's Hugh Evans along with Jake O'Donnell, who are the officials today, and Ed Middleton again is the alternate.
A little banging inside, and McHale is trying to post up against Laimbeer, and he ended up tripping over Lambeer's foot, I believe. Mahorn with the foul, was it?
Yep. Thomas on Seasting, and McHale once again posting up against Laimbeer. They double him. Seasting is left open for the shot. He has hit 50%. Subbing for Danny Ainge, who could see action in this game. Ainge warmed up and may play. Laimbeer, quick pop is way off.
And they'll use him a lot on that quick up the court stuff because they feel he's got that outside shot for Laimbeer.
Bird pops out. This is his first shot. Bird shooting 39% so far in this series. The score is tied at 4 with 2.5 minutes gone by. And Thomas draws the foul.
Here's Larry Bird making his move to try and pop out. Decent pick by Parrish, but Bird attacked at the tail end of his shot, and his rhythm is off, it appears to me, and it has been for several games.
Dennis Johnson commits the foul, and Isaiah Thomas, who had the fewest assists, only 3 in yesterday's game, got the fast break going and hit the big jumpers.
The challenge to him today, Dick, is to read the defense properly. If it's there, take his shot. If it's not there, create opportunities for others. Yesterday, it was to create opportunities for others only.
Crowd boos every time Larry Bird gets a hand on the ball. Dumars against Johnson. McHale gets another offensive rebound. No traveling. There was contact there, and Jake O'Donnell was right there. And that drops through, and the basket will count in a foul. And Tommy, it appears that Kevin McHale coming out strong early here in Game 4.
The game plan appears to be to attack Bill Laimbeer. He is a soft defender normally during the regular season because he has to watch his foul situations. But right now, the Celtics taking advantage of that by using McHale, one of the best low-post guys in the NBA.
Foul on Laimbeer is his first. He stayed out of foul trouble yesterday. And Kevin McHale is on the free throw line, and he is coming off his lowest scoring game of the series, 17 points, and his poorest shooting game as well.
I don't know how he's even playing with that bad foot of his.
The Celtics have outscored Detroit 7-0 on second chance points. Normally, that's been dominated by the Pistons. Thomas penetrating, dishes to Mahorn.
Read the defense perfectly, Dick.
Tied at 7. Already we've had 3 ties. There's McHale again. And in the hands of Dumars, who looks to push it up. Dumars can play either guard position effectively. Danley isolated with Bird. Seasting helps out, but AD hits anyway.
Bird has had monumental troubles trying to defend against Adrian Dantley,
who scored all of his 25 in the first half yesterday, and Larry Bird breaks into the scoring column with a drive to the hoop.
That's not a bad place for Larry Bird to be, down on the low post against Dantley. It'll keep Dantley off the fast break.
Celtics aggressive off the offensive board. Dantley has his confidence from outside. He'd rather drive, but he's hit 2 in a row from outside and 3 for 3 shooting so far.
McHale was not intimidated to go out and get him.
And a 20-second timeout called by Casey Jones. Last night, the Lakers took a 3-0 lead over the Seattle Sonics in an exciting game in Seattle, winning by 1 point, 122-121. And James Worthy with a career-high 39. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a big day off the glass and in scoring. And tomorrow you'll see Game 4 at 3 o'clock Eastern time between these teams. And Tommy, right now the Lakers have a 3-0 lead, but they have won by an average of less than 5 points a game against Seattle.
I think what's really stopping Seattle from truly challenging the Lakers so far is that their inexperience of being together. They've been together less than a full season, and that's an awful lot to expect a team like that to beat the Lakers.
And they got the number 5 pick and the number 9 pick in the draft coming up this year, and a bunch of number 1s in future years. 11-9 Pistons. Larry Bird missing Laimbeer the rebound, and here's Thomas. Dumars sees an opening, and he'll call for the offensive foul, and a good call, of course, an obvious one. Hugh Evans.
Boston is spreading its defense, trying to pick up the people that shot so well from the outside on the up quicks. And here it's spread. DJ makes a rush at Dumars. That opens up the gut of the defense to Bird. Bird made a great adjustment to create the charge call.
Harris setting a screen for Bird. No pick and roll. Bird hits the jumper.
Jerry Seasting right on Isaiah on the inbound.
Danley draws the foul going in. Very important for the Pistons' point of view that Danley goes to the free throw line. He only had 4 attempts from the line yesterday. They want him to get a lot more.
News of big value on Ford's big pickup. Right now, get 3.9% financing or $600 cash back. Add a special option package and save up to $2,397 on select F-Series pickups. See your Ford dealers soon.
California Cooler would like to introduce you to the fundamentals of basketball. 2 guards, 2 forwards, and, of course, the big guy in the middle. California Cooler, the real stuff.
Recently, we conducted a little test with a singer in New York and a vase in L.A. to prove that the sound quality of U.S. Sprint's fiber optic lines is as pure as we say. It's never been done like this. Over the phone. Coast to coast.
We did it, New York! Great, California!
Call now and save with U.S. Sprint, builders of the first and only 100% digital fiber optic network, and share our smashing success.
Another quick look back. The Pistons got back in the series yesterday with a quicker tempo, and Tommy explains what the Celtics must do to slow them down today.
The best thing the Celtics can do is control the offensive glass. This was the key in Game 7 against Milwaukee and could also be today. They need to challenge the Pistons' outlet passes. While it will only delay a second or two, it will allow the Celtics defense time to retreat. And as a team, They must get back, as shown here, with Dennis Johnson already back, and Jerry Seasting picking up Isaiah's penetration, forcing the Pistons to an outside jump shot. The key word today is delay, delay, delay.
Tommy, as far as the offensive rebounding, the Celtics have succeeded so far in that. They have a big edge there. What about the tempo of the game? Have they succeeded really in stopping Detroit, pushing it up?
It isn't quite as fast as it was yesterday. I think Jerry Seasting is going up and delaying Isaiah from making those quick thrusts up the court. But the Celtics defense is spread out a little bit more than it was yesterday.
Here's Adrian Dantley on the line, and the foul was on Seasting. Team fouls right now are 2 apiece with just under 7 minutes remaining in this first period. Dantley had a playoff high of 25 yesterday and had a season's high of 41 against the Celtics during the regular year. 1 out of 2 for Dantley, and it's a 1-point lead.
They're up challenging Dennis Johnson to the Pistons with Joe Dumars, trying to slow the Celtics offense up, make them take time off the clock before it goes into the low post.
Parrish setting up high, picked up. Bird picked up by Mahorn on the switch. Parrish is shooting over Dantley, and Lambier gets the rebound. Big advantage for Parrish, could not convert with the mismatch. Thomas and Dennis Johnson gets his hands on it. It's still Piston ball.
They made him commit to the shot, to the air, and then cut down the passing lane. Here's the Celtics coming back quickly on defense. Look at Seasting run out there and pick him up, then shove him to the baseline and overplay his shooting hand.
Still, the Pistons push the ball up effectively. Dantley going strong to the hoop. And a loose ball out of bounds, still Detroit. But the Pistons look like they would rather establish the inside game first on the drive and then the outside shot.
That's what they prefer to do. They don't really have any true low-post players, so they rely on Adrian Dantley taking it to the hoop on drives like he's going to try and do now.
Generally, the bread and butter for Detroit is that kind of shot. Lambier with his first points of the ball game. The Pistons lead 14-11.
That's a good spot for Bill Lambier at the top of the key on the swings. He's a good passer and can hit that outside shot.
Dennis Johnson is wide open. Question is how fast Dumars can get to him. Parrish with a turnaround. Parrish was the Celtics' leading scorer in the series before yesterday. He only scored a couple of points in one half. And Ricky Mahorn gets into the act, and now you talk about the diversification of the Pistons.
They're looking to get everybody involved. That will put pressure on Boston to spread their defense even more.
The boos continue for Larry Bird, who again is picked up by Mahorn on a switch. And again, Larry Bird hits, and he has 6 points and is the Boston leading scorer. Dantley with the ball has 7 to head Detroit scorers. 5:15 remaining in the first. Lambier, bullseye again.
Good pass by Adrian Dantley to read Parrish's drop down, allowed Lambier to get that shot off.
Nearly 5 minutes remaining, opening period. Pistons by 3. Parrish trying to get free against Mahorn. Ball tipped in the air into the hands of Dumars. Thomas beat everyone down court. Goes for 3. Hits it.
Isaiah going for the Celtics' heart with that shot.
The third three-point play by the Pistons in the series, all by Isaiah Thomas, as Parrish follows up on McHale's miss. 21-17 Detroit. And this crowd into the game from the start here. Dantley goes in, good defensive play, and again the Celtics do a number on Dantley with 2 fine defensive plays inside and get the ball back.
Celtics, however, are not creating any pace for themselves or getting easy shots. They're content to play their half-court game.
Roll the Parrish. Not that time. And here's Dumars. Celtics get back with 2. Dumars. Bird has it with 3:55 remaining in the period. Pistons by 4. Dennis Johnson. And it's a 2-point game.
Lambier very cautious that time not to pick up a second foul.
Mahorn facing the hoop, goes around Parrish. and throws the ball off for Robert. Into the ball game for the Pistons are John Sally and Vinnie Johnson.
Hit the offensive glass. Important. Robert Parrish with that bum ankle. That's where he's needed the most.
Laimbeer goes out. And Parrish. Let's see if he's all right. Kind of stumbled over there at the sideline, and he's walking gingerly. Once again, in for the Pistons, John Sally and Vinnie Johnson.
Here's Parrish just coming down, and that's how tender that ankle is. He didn't step on anybody's foot, just the floor.
Dumars gets a rest now. Both Sally and Vinnie Johnson played key roles yesterday coming off the bench for Detroit. Danley tries to force it inside, and Parrish anticipated.
What a good fake out by Robert Parrish on Danley.
Chance to tie the game, and a foul is called against John Sally, his first foul.
Sally does not really have the bulk to keep Parrish off the position that he wants to get to. So they probably will look for Robert Parrish a lot.
Vinnie Johnson is guarding Dennis Johnson.
And they've got Sally on Kevin McHale now.
Doubled with Vinnie Johnson. Good rotation by the Pistons, but the pick and roll bounce pass. McHale gets another chance. And it looks like Kevin McHale is starting out like he means to have a real big game as the Celtics tie it up after trailing by 6.
I wonder about Kevin McHale's stamina. They took him out in the fourth quarter. It was smart yesterday by Casey Jones to do that.
Celtics looking to take their first lead since they were up 7-5. 2:25 remaining in the first. Dennis Johnson short. Thomas to Vinnie Johnson. The Celtics had scored 6 in a row before Vinnie Johnson hit. He's averaged over 14 a game in this series as a 6th man.
That was a fast break, but a slow one.
Bird misses. Sally clears it. 2 minutes to go in the first period. Here's Thomas. And the Pistons look like they're on the mark from outside after starting the game trying to draw the inside point. Dennis Johnson can't get the foul. And Mahorn. The ball thrown away, and it's going to be Boston's possession. 1:40 remaining. And this game has all the fervor that you would expect of a 2-1 series battle.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
You got mommy's nose, you got daddy's cheeks.
Your brand new car, your shining star, your golden years, your wedding tears. Leave it to the good hands, people. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For over 50 years, people have put their trust in Allstate. We give you straight talk and solid value.
And the simple promise that you can count on us to help protect what's important to you.
Your hopes, your schemes, your plans, and your dreams. Leave it to the good hands, people. You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
You know, I always wondered, why does Miller High Life come in a clear bottle? Boy, did I ever find out.
It shows the quality and the purity in our beer.
It's a natural process. No shortcuts. We don't cut corners.
One reason for the clear bottle was to show purity, but there was another one, too.
This is dark roasted barley malt.
I found out that roasted malt makes Miller darker.
You really can see the difference.
It makes a lot of sense. When you make a beer that looks dark and rich, you put it in a clear bottle, so everyone can see it. Now, in my book, that's the American way.
Ford has a great value story for you on the popular Escort. You can get 3.9% financing or $600 cash back. Plus, with a value option package, save up to $1,294 on Escort. Great values available on other Fords, too. See your Ford dealer soon.
Wednesday on The Equalizer.
I'm worried about my dad. I think he's in a lot of trouble.
Can McCall pull the plug on nuclear theft?
Plutonium.
Time's up Wednesday.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have temporarily lost our program. Please stand by. We will resume programming just as soon as possible.
Mahorn takes the shot from the free throw line and hits. We apologize for brief transmission problem. You didn't miss much. Mahorn hit the jump shot, and Ricky has 6 points so far. Detroit, 60% shooting thus far, has them in the lead by 4. Dennis Johnson on a fake on Adrian Danley. And here comes Isaiah Thomas with the push. And Seasting fouls him.
Well, he kept him out of the paint, denied him the penetration, the straight line to the hoop, but he bumped him in the process.
First in the last 2 minutes.
Seasting is trying to really deny him taking a straight line to the basket. You see right now, Isaiah elects to take it to the outside, and he bumped him off the play.
Darren Day is into the game for the Celtics, but more important, Danny Ainge is in. Danny Ainge has yet to play in this series. He has had an injury, and that has affected his lateral movement, and he is really antsy. He told us before the game, he said, I feel I can play and I want to get in there. Earlier this year in the Silverdome, Ainge had his career high of 35 points against the Pistons. And he is one of the top three-point shooters as well.
That will help the outside shooting effort of the Celtics if that finger of his does not bother him and ought to open up things for McHale and Parrish down low.
McHale and Dennis Johnson get the breather. They have been hard workers for the Celtics, as all of the starters have been. Posting up against Danley, Bird hits, and a good move.
That's the place I think Larry Bird ought to be. Low post until the Pistons adjust to it.
Detroit 29, Boston 25. 16 on the shot clock, a differential of about 2 seconds between the game clock and the shooting clock. Seasting making Thomas commit now with 5 on the shot clock. He lost control and hit the basket in the nick of time. Here's Ainge. And that'll match the biggest lead that the Pistons attained in the first period. It's 31-25.
I've been shot at, shot up, and shot down. So I don't take chances on anything. I won't touch a filter that isn't from AC. Why mess with air filters that can't go for up to 30,000 miles? Or oil filters that can't deliver up to 15,000.
Now, get up to $7 back on AC filters and plugs. See your retailer for details.
If you put your muscle into a job, use your head and do it with AC Delco.
We'll announce the final cuts after tomorrow's practice.
I can't sleep and not laying, I think.
You gotta start hitting from out there, Harris.
Oh, I need a drink of cool, cool rain.
The way to stay cool is clear.
7 Up is so good, coming down. Rain on me. 7 Up, yeah.
The Great American Face. Rugged, distinctive. The Great American Razor. Atra. Solid. Pivots for closeness. The Great American Face deserves the Great American Shave. Atra. Only from Gillette.
I keep telling Don that basketball is the best sport for fans. We give them the fast break, the slam dunk, and the three-point shot.
Nah, baseball's the best sport for fans. We give them the squeeze play, the grand slam, even the ball if they catch it.
But we both agree on one thing. We care about our fans' lives.
So before the game, line up a designated driver so we all get home safe.
Hey, I know the best sport.
Me, the designated driver.
Yeah.
CBS Sports coverage of the 1987 NBA playoffs is sponsored by Renault and Jeep, official vehicles of the NBA. AC Delco, stay ahead of trouble with AC Delco parts. And by Honda Power Equipment, lawnmowers, riding mowers, and portable generators made to last.
It's 31-25 as we're in the Motor City, in effect, in the suburbs in Pontiac, Michigan. There is a look at what happened in the first period. Isaiah Thomas, of course, the leading scorer in the game. And he told me that his mother, Mary, who accepted his graduation degree from Indiana a few weeks ago, was so confident she was playing cards over at his aunt's house yesterday. He said today the whole Thomas family is home watching the game. Sam Vincent, who had a fine game, in fact led the Celtics with a career high of 18, has come in the ball game for Boston. And Dennis Rodman, a rookie, second rookie to appear for the Pistons, is in there as well. Here's Sally, the other first-year player. Lane Beer.
He's just been hanging on the perimeter, and very effectively they've been hitting Bill Laimbeer.
Tommy, the Celtics have given up a lot of points so far for a team that really wants to clamp down defensively.
Well, I think they don't know if they're fish or foul, cut off the penetration or go out and get the outside shooters.
We pointed out they spread their defense even though they're getting back. Darren Day misses. So Casey Jones going to his bench early and a lot more confidence in them the way they've been playing. Thomas missed the play after the shovel pass from Sally. Celtics up tempo a bit. Vincent looking for Parrish, posting up against Sally. Finds an opening and gets the basket in the foul. Tommy, I know you've always liked the Michigan State second-year man. It looks like he now has a world of confidence out there.
Well, he's played a couple of serious stints in this series, and he can take it to the hoop as well as anybody, I believe. And he is a finisher. A lot of people think that he doesn't quite take it strong enough. You got to remember, he's just a kid, too.
And hasn't had that many minutes to really show what he can do.
Exactly.
Foul was on Sally, and he has 2 personal fouls. So Seasting and Sally are the players with 2 personals in the game. 5-point lead for the Pistons. Johnson off a screen. Laimbeer in the corner. And Bird clears it. Here comes the break with Vincent.
Well, Parrish was right on Laimbeer that time.
Vincent wide open. And Sam Vincent making an early impact with 5 points.
Do not take Sam Vincent for granted. That's what Isaiah did that time. He forgot about him.
Detroit out shooting Boston right now, but those numbers can change, especially early in the game when not many shots are taken. Laimbeer, he's been hot. And Bill Laimbeer now with 8 points. He is 4 for 6 now.
He is not truly a low post player, but he's one of the best outside shooting centers in the NBA.
Rodman is on Bird. Laimbeer with the rebound. He has 5, has averaged 12 for the series. Thomas all the way.
Now, Sam got beat a half a step that time. That allowed Isaiah to take that direct route to the basket, even though he had to use his left hand.
7-point lead. Good point of Fisher foul for the Celtic defensively about the penetration. Ainge hits a 3-pointer. So Danny Ainge is back in action for the Celtics in a big way with his first shot and hoop. And Thomas, air ball.
Now, that was an ill-advised shot by Isaiah. It wasn't truly there, and Isaiah's back on defense shaking his head. He knows it was a bad shot.
Joe Dumars getting ready to return to the game. Great feed from Bird to Danny Ainge.
No foul. Wow.
Sally got hit in the arm in that action. Vinnie Johnson is short. And the Pistons are not organized offensively the last 2 times down. Parrish gets 2 back, and the Celtics have tied it up. And now Daly wants a 20-second timeout.
What's really happened here is Sam Vincent has put a little pace in the Boston game. They're getting out 3 men up against the Pistons defense, which is not really thinking getting back fast.
Isn't this ironic? The Celtics have played with 5 men all year, and now in the conference finals they may have finally found a bench.
Bill Laimbeer is under the gun. There's a double pick that's going to develop for Danny Ainge. His move is supposed to be to drop back and protect on that cut. He's much too late. But what he was really worried about, if Ainge didn't get the ball, Larry Bird would have jumped out on a jump shot off Robert Parrish. So they had Laimbeer under the gun.
For the Celtics, good balanced scoring led by Bird with 8. 7 different players that scored, including Danny Ainge, who has 5 coming off the bench in his first action in the series. Isaiah Thomas has 14 points to lead the Pistons, but their front line of Danley, Mahorn, and Lane Beer have also scored well. 8:35 remaining in the first half. We're tied at 37.
Larry Bird is defending Rick Mahorn.
Vinnie Johnson goes around a Mahorn screen, and he can heat up in a hurry. You know his nickname.
The microwave.
Celtics have scored 7 in a row before Vinnie Johnson's hoop. Yes. Switching out is Lane Beer on Bird. McHale fall away good.
And as soon as that happens, it'll go right into McHale, if at all possible.
And it was. We have had 8 ties in this first half. And a Celtic foul. Inbound. Rodman and Sally, who were really kind of skittery as we used yesterday in the games in Boston, seemed to settle down and get back to their high-flying ways yesterday in Game 3.
Well, they can play. They may be inexperienced in playoff competition, but they will put run into this ball club, and I don't think the Pistons are using it very effectively in this quarter.
Rick Mahorn has hit all 4 of his shots. Bird doubled, spins away from Mahorn, and it's a tough shot. Maybe not for Larry, for most mortals, and it's 41 apiece.
Well, Mahorn will not have the quickness to stay with Larry Bird on the outside.
Vinnie Johnson, and on the elbow, Darren Day commits another foul, and Vinnie Johnson will go to the line and shoot. The front line scoring, which the Celtics dominated during the regular year against this club and in the first 2 games. Yesterday, Detroit had the edge, and today it's awfully close. Vinnie Johnson shoots. So you might say the team that has controlled the front line scoring has come out successful.
Well, I would think that Boston's whole offense is front line, and Detroit really relies a lot on the fast break and their guards scoring points, so that can be a little misleading.
Free throw shooting. Vinnie Johnson misses 2. Bird comes back, and Rodman gets the rebound. Good pass to Dumars. He's got Vinnie Johnson and Lane Beer, the trailer. The trailer goes up. Rodman follows. Tipped up and in by Vinnie Johnson. Boy, he's physical and likes to go inside. And no basket. A foul before the shot. Vinnie Johnson commits the foul, his first, and we'll take a timeout. 6:51 remaining in the half.
Legends of the NBA. The smooth touch makes it count. Sponsored by Schick. For 14 seasons, Elgin Baylor was an unstoppable.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. Randy, you have to have seen these teams. You're looking for a possible showdown with them. What possibly can you learn new by watching them now?
Well, 7-game or 5-game series is a lot different because the adjustments are different in a playoff series. Just like today, we've seen Boston now go back with McHale on Adrian Dantley. So those kind of adjustments you watch for during a series.
You do learn something. You were watching the Lakers last night. You learn anything there?
Well, I learned we got to get 1 more victory. 3 don't count, so we need 1 more. And I ain't giving this report to Pat until we get 1 more victory out west.
He sounds nervous, but I'm not sure he is. Let's go back to Dick.
Well, you remember what happened in the last series. The Lakers had a 3-0 lead over Golden State and lost. And I'm sure Pat Riley says, let's clean it up fast and let the Eastern guys go as long as we can, right, Tommy? And pick up the bones.
That's the way it might happen, too. This series could very well go a long way. A 6 or a 7-gamer.
Sam Vincent pulls up and misses. Rodman the rebound. Rodman has made an impact since coming in.
But they are not pacing the ball off the rebound again. Much too long in getting the outlet pass to Dumars, and he's not pushing it hard at the defense.
Pistons by 2. McHale now on Lane Beer. Finds Mahorn, and Parrish got a piece of the ball. Vinnie Johnson follows up. Larry Bird on the bench with 10 points, and the Celtics scoring leader getting a breather right now.
I think that he needs a lot more rest than he thinks he needs.
Darren Day. Good pass from Danny Ainge, and Ainge now signals the Celtics to get back quickly defensively. But the Pistons take their time.
This is the speed unit in there, and they're not truly utilizing it.
Rodman with a good move inside.
You know, Lambier is such a good passer, too, when he gets the ball up high. He's so big he can look down and deliver the ball to anybody.
Bird's going to come back. McHale goes up. 3-second violation against Boston.
Vinnie Johnson does his job for a guard. Now, you watch inside. It's challenged, but Vinnie Johnson, with those fire plug shoulders and bulky legs, creates room to put it back up and in.
Larry Bird is back, and so is Isaiah Thomas for the Pistons. Yesterday, you remember, Thomas was out for 9 minutes, and the Pistons might have run their best fast break at that time. Vinnie Johnson gets his own rebound and converts.
When a guard comes in there and burns you twice on the offensive glass, somebody's not doing the job.
Vinnie Johnson has 10 points, 8 this period. And they call Thomas for the push. Here's the shooting story so far. Both teams shooting extremely well, and Boston really has upgraded theirs in the second period. Seasting comes in, and Dennis Johnson well rested as Vincent and Ames go out.
Kevin McHale, Dick, has been forced more to the outside fall-away jump shot than I've seen him all season long. And I think it has to do with his foot and the fact that Mahorn and Lambier are both leaning on him and not giving him a good position.
Bird picking up Vinnie Johnson and draws the foul. First on Bird, and the crowd loves it. Team fouls are 3 and 3.
Here's Vinnie Johnson. Bird is forced to switch out and get him, and it's awfully difficult for Bird to defend against the guard. And Vinnie, with that good faking ability, can lift anybody.
Vinnie Johnson has been a consistent 14, 15 points a game against Boston in the series. He misses a free throw, has 11 in the ball game. And it's a 5-point lead for Detroit. The Celtics have the offensive rebounding edge, points-wise, right now.
Now, DJ was on the bench for an awfully long period of time. I think that should help him. He was flat shooting everything.
Seasting. Jerry Seasting with 6 points, and it's 50-47. You're right about Dennis Johnson. He has really had a tough year. I think his wife was ill for a while. The story out of Phoenix involving his involvement affected him. His elbow's bothering him. Lambier hits from the corner, and Lambier has 10. So Dennis Johnson is really a warrior for the Celtics, and the rest, as you say, helping him goodly.
I'll tell you, he has picked up this ball club at times when Larry Bird has not even been able to deliver.
DJ is 1 for 5 today, and he misses that shot, and they're going to count the basket. The basket counts, goaltending. So credit the hoop to Dennis Johnson. 3:45 to go, first half. Tight game throughout. Biggest lead was 8 by the Pistons. And traveling call against Ricky Mahorn. The biggest lead in this game, the Pistons, occurred here in the second period.
Robert Parrish so far has held up pretty nicely. He's not overextending himself, but he's been in and defending very well.
McHale against Lambier. Parrish follows it up, and Robert Parrish, playing hurt, has 8 points.
That's what they need when they start doubling Kevin McHale. That allows Parrish to step in for those offensive rebounds.
The Celtics with a lot of turnovers yesterday have averaged 17 a game. Vinnie Johnson with 13 points, 11 of them here in the period, and so he's had the history against this club and many others of getting hot on a big streak.
I love Vinnie Johnson, and Chuck Daly loves Vinnie Johnson.
McHale setting a screen, no pick and roll. Dennis Johnson hits.
Just a couple of minutes more on the bench can really straighten out a guy's shooting touch from the outside.
Celtics have terrific balance of their first 6 men today. McHale leading with 11, and the Pistons clinging to a 1-point lead with 2.5 to play. Working against Seasting. Vinnie Johnson has hit 6 of his last 7.
He's turned into a two-alarmer right now.
Seasting. A two-pointer by Seasting.
This has been some first half, Dick.
And a high-scoring one at that, 56-55. And just about 2 minutes to go in the first two periods. Vinnie Johnson on a drive, and the Celtics look to take their first lead since the early moments of the game. Seasting gets the push and the foul. That's the fourth team foul, but Seasting will go to the line to shoot a pair with 1:47 to go. Well, yesterday, I'm sure many of you saw the scrap between Bill Laimbeer and Larry Bird, depending on what side you look at things. Well, we're going to play now how the two local broadcasters of these teams handled the same incident.
Dishes off now to Bird. And there is a violent knocked down by Laimbeer. And Bird just smacked him. Oh, my. A completely unnecessary foul by Laimbeer, and Laimbeer got walloped. He pulled Bird to the ground. He slammed him to the ground, and Bird retaliated with a hard right hand to Laimbeer.
They loop the pass to Seasting, baseline left on the floor, penetrating now off the Bird, right side. Laimbeer takes him down. Bird's not going to stand for that. We're going to have a fight now. Laimbeer just grabbed him around the neck and took him down.
Yep.
And Laimbeer thinks he wants to fight Bird.
The eye of the beholder. Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Dick, thank you. Coming up on the Prudential at the half this afternoon, we're going to send you out to Seattle and have a live interview with James Worthy. We'll also show you highlights of last night's Game 3 between the Lakers and the Sonics. A lot of sports news today. We'll bring you up to date on the Indy 500, both triumph and tragedy at that contest today. And wrapped at the half, some financial news on the Celtics stockholders. All that and, as usual, much more right where we always are at the Prudential at the half. Let's go back to Dick.
Thank you, Pat. And one of the great stars, sports stars of Motown is Thomas Hearns, who dresses for this game the way most people dress for his fights when he's fighting for the title, and they are in black tie. Thomas Hearns.
I wonder what kind of gloves he's got on.
Probably 8-ounce glove.
With the thumb enclosed, or what?
Here's Bird, who has 10. McHale with 11 leads the Celtics. Vinnie Johnson off the bench with 15. 13 in this period, and Isaiah Thomas has 14. Laimbeer in double figures with 10, but it's been Vinnie Johnson to keep the Pistons in front. That could all change if Seasting makes these free throws.
You know, it may seem like hair splitting, Dick, but when Isaiah is not in the ball game, the Pistons must continue to push hard at the Celtic defense to get that sledgehammer effect that they hope to have in the fourth quarter, and they didn't do it in the middle portion of this quarter.
They did it yesterday when he was on the bench for 9 minutes. Tied at 56. 1:35 on the clock. Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer has 12 points, and he is red hot. Has hit 6 of 9 from the field. So whatever yesterday's fight meant to those people who talked about it after, Bill Laimbeer came out business as usual today. Parrish in the low post against Isaiah Thomas. And there's two the Celtics would love to get.
That was a situation where he's afraid of his ankle coming down on Isaiah, though.
Daly foul going to the hoop. It's on Kevin McHale. And the fourth team foul. Each team has 4, so the next foul will put the other club in the bonus. McHale's first.
Adrian Dantley has played in this series. He is the key to make their run game go. When he gets out on that fast break, you know, we've always talked about that third man up on the fast break. He's not an exceedingly fast ball player, but when he does get out, he's one of the best at tricking the defense.
Robert Parrish, who did not play in the second half yesterday, has played most of this first half. He received medication. Normally, he doesn't like to get medication. He's like Bill Russell that way. Doesn't want to take anything extra, but he did for this game back-to-back.
Yeah, working Dennis Johnson in the backcourt, trying to really take his stamina away from him.
4-point lead for the Pistons, under a minute to go, and 12 on the shot clock. Parrish over Mahorn. Good basket for Parrish. Mahorn did as well as he could do.
You're not so worried about your ankle when you're falling away.
Thomas penetrates. Short. Mahorn. Vinnie Johnson. 17 for Vinnie Johnson.
He's out of the firehouse, I'll tell you that.
The Celtics had an opportunity to take the lead. The Pistons were up by 8. Now Detroit is up 62 to 58 in the final seconds of this first half. Game 4, best of 7 with the Celtics in front 2-1. Bird for 3. And Mahorn has 11 seconds. Detroit will go for the last shot.
Bird just continues to front rim everything.
Thomas. McHale. And that'll do it. Vinnie Johnson scored 15 of his 17 in this first half. The score, Pistons 62, Celtics 58. Pat O'Brien will be back with the Prudential at the half, right after this message.
You know, I always wondered, why does Miller High Life come in a clear bottle? Boy, did I ever find out.
It shows the quality and the purity in our beer. It's a natural process. No shortcuts. We don't cut corners.
One reason for the clear bottle was to show purity, but there was another one, too.
This is dark roasted barley malt.
I found out that roasted malt makes Miller darker.
You really can see the difference.
It makes a lot of sense. When you make a beer that looks dark and rich, you put it in a clear bottle so everyone can see it. Now, in my book, that's the American way.
Announcing nothing in factory financing. 0%. Available on new Renault GTA and Alliance models. Or get $500 cash back. Announcing 0% factory financing on selected new Jeep Comanches. Or get up to $700 cash back. You can use the cash as a down payment. These are limited time offers, so see your Renault Jeep dealer now.
Renault Jeep Performance.
When you buy a new lawnmower, you want to believe that each one will be the last you'll ever have to buy. But in time, it becomes painfully clear that not all lawnmowers are engineered to last. Knowing this, why would you settle for anything less than a Honda? Year after year, the right tool for mowing the lawn.
Sunday, a merciless newspaper man meets his final deadline.
Actually, it could have been murder.
When Harry Gardino guest stars. Murder? Murder, she wrote. Then...
We're getting a Christmas baby.
But the gift of life arrived too soon.
A 1 pound, 4 ounce baby?
Now, how far should they go? And how far should they let them go?
Are you trying to prolong life just to prove that you can do it?
John Lithgow and Mary Beth Hurt star.
I'm so scared.
Baby Girl Scott, Sunday.
CBS Sports presents The Prudential at the half. Sponsored by The Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services.
And our score at the half, the Detroit Pistons lead the Boston Celtics 62 to 58. We have a busy halftime for you, including news of Indy 500 and Don Nelson's future with the Milwaukee Bucks and other teams. We'll have that after a word from your local station. Stay tuned for The Prudential at the half.
Choosing a life insurance policy can make anyone feel helpless. You're at the mercy of strangers. Your hands are tied. You feel pressured. But help is never too far away. With Prudential, your agent has the time to talk to you, listen to you, and work with you until you have a piece of the rock you're comfortable with. No wonder more people choose Prudential for life insurance than any other company. You'll feel right by the rock. Prudential Life Insurance.
This is CBS.
And now, the continuing adventures of Sherlock Holmes and the hidden cars of Overbolds.
Watson, look, another letter.
From General Manager Heifel?
Right, you are. Rich and Tom, now that you've hidden all the cars, reprice them. Mark them down, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and discount the used cars, too.
What a capital idea.
Oh, but wait, there's more. On Monday, Memorial Day, open the doors at Overbolds for their biggest 7-hour sale in history.
By Jove, Overbolds is going to
sell the cars.
This is my lava machine.
This is my lava machine, new lava liquid. In 30 years of working with my hands, I've never used a hand cleaner like it. Power of pumice in a liquid. Feel it, powering away dirt, grease, just about anything. Powering hands clean. I'm Roger Gustin. Friend, when I talk power, I know what I'm talking about.
Lava, new liquid and traditional bar. Powers hands clean.
Please volunteer for the American Red Cross.
KXJB TV4.
And our score at the half, it's still 62-58. The Pistons over the Celtics. And hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Once again, welcome to the Prudential at the half. Add the Milwaukee Bucks to the teams that will be looking for a coach next year. Don Nelson says no way he will return. Having said that, he turned around. He was talking to the Golden State Warriors about possibly being their general manager. We caught up with Nelly last night.
They have offered me the general manager's job. I have not got specific on details, except that the job is mine if I choose to take it. I don't have any other offers. I would hope I would get a couple, because I would like to be able to make a decision and compare offers on a couple of different teams. But at this particular time, there's only one offer, and that's Golden State.
Well, it could be a sticky situation out there. Look for Nelly to resign this week. He says he'll leave things up to his attorneys. Well, the Lakers continue to roll out west. Last night they went to Seattle and picked up their third straight victory over the Supersonics. Here's how that contest went. Showtime made an appearance in Seattle as James Worthy finishes off a classic Laker fast break. He had 39 on the night. Bernie Bickerstaff says, let's get going, guys, and they did. Midway through the fourth period, Tom Chambers led a 12-2 Sonic spurt, which cut the Laker lead to 5. Xavier McDaniel scored 20 of his 42 in the fourth period, including a three-pointer, but the Sonics fell short, 122-121. The Lakers lead the series 3-zip. And, of course, the star of the evening was James Worthy, who's having a great series for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's live right now with James Brown. JB, you've got it.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. All right, Pat, thank you very much. And indeed, he is having a great series here in the 3 games thus far. He scored 96 points in these 3 games. And, James, before I talk about your individual exploits here, let's talk a little bit about that Boston-Detroit series that you're watching. A real warfare going there. If you guys make it to the finals, will you have to carry an extra weapon in your arsenal there?
Well, of course, we're still worried about Seattle. We have to get through them first, but that's a very competitive series right now. I think the home games have been very important. I think every game, the closer you get to the end of the series, the more crucial the game is. So I think that's why you're seeing more aggressive play and more physical play from both teams.
Speaking of a competitive series, you guys are 10-1 in the postseason. Would you prefer going to the finals to have a series that was more competitive, a little tougher, but you guys seem to be cruising right now, or does it make any difference?
Well, I think we've had some tough games. I think we've been tested several times. I think collectively we've come together as a group, and we've been very strong together. As far as the test is concerned, I think it's always good to be tested, particularly going down the stretch. I think a close game, which we've had with Seattle, has helped us.
Individually, 32 points that you've been averaging in this series here. What's happening to James Worthy? Magic Johnson says you're madder on the court now, you're more talkative. What's happening to your game?
Well, this is my 4th time in the playoffs, and it's very exciting this time of the year, and I think every game is crucial, and I think the more pressure involved, I think the better a player responds, I think. Particularly in my case, it's just every game is so important, and it's a lot of fun also, though.
James Worthy, and you'll get a chance to see him tomorrow afternoon in a special edition of NBA on CBS here from the Northwest. It'll be the Los Angeles Lakers and the Seattle Supersonics in Game 4 tomorrow afternoon. That about wraps it up from here. Let's take it back to Detroit and Pat O'Brien.
All right, James and James, thank you very much. Let's switch gears now. Triumph and tragedy at the Indianapolis 500 today. Let's begin with the triumph. Al Unser Sr. picked up his 4th Indy win. He ties A.J. Foyt's record. He gets the checkered flag. A nice reunion at the Unser home tonight because Al Unser Jr. came in 4th in the contest. Now the tragedy. A wheel fell off Tony Bettenhausen's car and struck and killed a spectator. 41-year-old Lyle Kurtenbossen from Rothschild, Wisconsin, was pronounced dead at the hospital. He is the first spectator killed there in 27 years. Moving on, down at the Georgia Pacific Atlanta Golf Classic in Marietta, Georgia this afternoon, Dave Barr came home with a win, 23 under, a course record. He ties the course record. This is his first PGA victory in 6 years. Congratulations to him. Well, some at-the-half financial news now. Remember earlier in the season when the Boston Celtics went public and I said, can you imagine the stockholders calling Red Auerbach and saying, hey, Red, let me give you some advice. Well, Bill Raftery has taken that a step further. Here's Raft at the half.
One might say that the stock market and our favorite sport teams are part of the American culture. Certainly, both are an emotional roller coaster. But if you've made a business decision to buy a share of the Boston Celtics, it might become tough to separate the businessman from the fan without a trip to the home office.
Stewardess, what time does this plane get to Boston? These seats are awfully close together. What do I do with my knees? Do you have any diet soda, and how about 2 bags of those peanuts?
Hold that cab. I've got to check on my investments with Red and the boys. Can't keep them waiting.
Boston Garden cabbie. Did you see what the Celtics stock closed at yesterday? Thanks for the tip, pal. I'll look into that stock. And keep the change.
Gee, thanks, mister. Before I go upstairs, I have a few seconds to get some souvenirs for the kids. You have a 42 extra long? And how about a large hat as well? Hello there. Raft to see Red. We have a business appointment. Red, how do we increase the value of my stock, cut costs, and improve productivity? By the way, Red, while you're at it, can you get me a uniform?
No way. I'll tell you what you do. Just to get out of here, go see the equipment man and get out of my hair.
Bill, we're having a problem with our price-earnings ratio. And I know you're injured, but you can certainly help the cause by playing.
Hey, you're concerned with your stock. I'm interested in winning. And by the way, how many years did you play in this league?
Casey, we've heard a lot about your singing ability. We're thinking of rolling in a piano here at Boston Garden, moving the seats in, enlarging the seating capacity, raising the ticket prices, and maybe push up the per-share value.
All these balls, what a major expense. You only need one to play.
What do you need, Bill? I'm trying to practice. You know, Larry, I'm really turning bullish on this organization. Hit me. I guess I'm just going to have to enjoy the emotional ups and downs of being a big-time stockholder.
For CBS Sports, I'm Bill Raftery. Are you sure I can't keep the uniform, Red?
Well, Rats, keep shooting like that. You can keep the uniform. There's your investment. Let's see how they do in the second half. I'm Pat O'Brien. Thanks for joining us at the Prudential at the half. Enjoy the second half here on CBS.
The Pistons lead 62-58 as we get set for the start of the third period. And Tommy Heinsohn, do you think that the Pistons set the tempo the way you wanted them to set the tempo as provided their victory yesterday?
I think they ran the ball much faster in the first half yesterday. Of course, there was little resistance from the Celtics yesterday in the first half, much more resistance here. But Boston showed a vast improvement in what they did. They ended up with 50 shots in this first half as compared to 74 for the total game yesterday.
What about Vinnie Johnson? They've got to find the combination to that lock.
Who finds the combination to Vinnie Johnson? Hardly anybody when he starts going strong. Call out the 5 alarms, baby, because he's heated up.
The shooting statistics are pretty impressive. Detroit has the edge there. The Pistons also have the edge in fast break points. And as Tommy mentioned yesterday, the Celtics had only 37 shots in the first half. Today they have 50, so they're getting more shots. The Celtics scoring looks like this, with McHale the leader, and the Detroit leader, of course, is Vinnie Johnson with Thomas right behind. Tommy, the Celtics have only gone to the free throw line 4 times. That's an inside team going to the line only 4 times.
That's a very surprising statistic to me. And Detroit has gone to the line 12 times, and they're a perimeter shooting ball club. And Boston has turned it to the hoop innumerable times. I can't understand it.
Pistons ball. With a 4-point lead, their biggest lead was 8 early in the second. Thomas for 3, and Bird the rebound. Bird was 5 of 11 shooting in the first half.
Boston now, if they can control the tempo of this game, should have some fresh legs for the fourth quarter.
And a foul. Dantley committing his second personal foul. Dantley, by the way, had 7 points in the first 6 minutes of the game, but only 2 points, both from the line for the rest of the half. Far cry from yesterday. And on the turnover.
I think he is a victim of no pace, and here he's slowing it down himself. And that's what they did yesterday in the second half. Slowed it down completely.
Lambier kept him in it from outside. He's 7 of 10. The only lead the Celtics enjoyed was early at 7-5. Dennis Johnson penetrating and getting the hoop.
And Detroit did not rotate quickly that time.
Get him out! Get him out! Dantley gets the layup, but actually the Celtics would prefer the Pistons play this style.
Absolutely, mainly because they feel they have a better half-court offense than Detroit, more places to go.
And without the speed, they can set up better against a deliberate half-court offense. Lambier picking up Seasting. McHale has the ball knocked away, and they'll call the foul on Isaiah Thomas. And Thomas has picked up his second.
Dantley is tough to stop for anybody. He hit a couple of outside shots, so Kevin has to go a little bit closer to him, and as soon as he does, Dantley will burn anybody.
Seasting and Bird and Dantley. Bird wins. McHale in the Parrish, and another Piston foul. So the Pistons have committed 3 team fouls in the first 2 minutes of this period, and that's on Mahorn, his second.
When you start reaching the way the Pistons are right now, that's a sign they don't have their feet going on defense. And they had that very effectively going their way in both the first half of this game and all of yesterday's ball game.
Parrish played 22 of the 24 minutes in the first half on that lame ankle. 1 of the 2. Thomas pushing it up against Seasting. The Celtics get back, and a foul is called. And Jerry Seasting gets called for it.
Well, Isaiah is saying we need pace. He knows it. He tried to provide it that time. The penetration ends up with a foul, which is a good sign for his offense.
3 on Seasting. Danny Ainge saw action in the first half. We presume he'll be in there in the second. Dantley driving in again. And McHale might have pushed him.
The offense in the first half of the Pistons was much more diversified. Now it's boiling down to Dantley going one-on-one on every single opportunity where they have to slow down. They were much more effective when it was diversified. Everybody getting into the act.
Yesterday, as you pointed out, the Pistons had the big lead at halftime and then really went into the slow-down game, it seemed, in the second half. And the Celtics came back from 23 points and cut it to 12 before the Pistons won. And right now, even though Detroit is leading by 6 and maybe 7 if Dantley hits, this is more like Detroit's offense in the first 2 games of the series.
Absolutely, Dick. And Boston loves this type of pace.
Dantley now with 13, 4 quick points in this period. 2 minutes elapsed. Little pressure and a trap by the Pistons.
And trying to take Dennis Johnson's legs out from underneath him with that real backcourt pressure.
Bird over Dantley.
Larry Bird from Dennis Johnson.
And Jake O'Donnell goes over to the Celtic bench. There was no warning. Just, I guess Jake had a couple of words for the men in green.
Somebody said, "Where's the foul?" And Jake said, "I didn't see any."
Pistons playing a slow-down perimeter game right now. Lambier. And if you hit 60%, you can probably win that way, but that's not the best percentage. Anyway, Detroit is up by 7.
Well, Dantley got somebody else involved. That's what he must do.
Lane Beer now with 16. Second high scorer to Vinnie Johnson. And Bird comes back.
Bird in the low post cannot be defended by Adrian Danley. He's not big enough.
Danley in the low post can't be defended by too many people in that sense.
What a move that time. He took a blow and then just hung in the air until two Celtics came down.
Each team has missed only one shot in this third period. And they both shot over 50% at the half. Deflection out of bounds. Pistons ball. We'll take a timeout, an official's timeout here in the third.
There came a moment when all the elements came together, unleashing a superbly equipped new breed of compact car, the Dodge Shadow.
The largest playoff crowd in Piston history today, 27,387. Yesterday, 23,000 plus. Only the Seattle Sonics, before the Pistons, drew 1 million home fans in a season. And the fans watched the Pistons win a record 52 victories this year and sweep Washington in 3 straight and then beat Atlanta in 5 games. And the Detroit Pistons, under Chuck Daly, who is their winningest coach, trying to even this best-of-7 series at 2 games apiece. 7-point lead. Biggest lead for Detroit was 8. Danley gives them a 9-point lead, 74-65.
Again, that big outside shot that will set up McHale for additional moves to the hoop.
So Danley and Lane Beer hitting effectively outside, and Thomas committing his 3rd personal foul.
Every once in a while, Isaiah will make a foolish gamble. And that really kind of hurts the momentum of his team sometimes.
Robert Parrish sitting down. Darren Day, who had his best game of the year with 15 points coming in. Bird misses, and here's Dumars into the hands of Thomas. Danley on the wing. And the lead is 11.
The good rebound, the quick outlet pass, the hard push. It's layups.
10 points for Danley. Timeout Celtics. 10 points for Danley in this third period.
You work your one and only body like you never have before. Gatorade is Thursday. So go and give your thirsty body what it's feeling thirsty for. Gatorade is Thursday for that deep down body thirst.
Nothing cuts through thirst like Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It speeds in fluids and minerals and supplies energy to working muscles.
Quenches! Gatorade is Thursday for that deep down body thirst.
Time for an oil change. But we're not using your Quaker steak. We're switching to something better. New Quaker.
Look at that speed in action, and Danley already up in a perfect position to put the heat on the Celtics defense and score an easy 2. That's pace basketball. The Celtics, not a fast team. You can beat them up the court.
And Detroit running again. And Adrian Danley, who's had scored 25 in the first half yesterday and was shut out in the second half, already has scored 10 points in 4 minutes here in the third. Danny Ainge back in the game. Seasting off a screen. Lane Beer picks up, and Darren Day misses. Lane Beer, the rebound. And here are the Pistons again running. Thomas all the way in. And now the Celtics with a 4-on-2 chance. And Darren Day lays it in. So there were two that the Pistons didn't get because of the roll, and the Celtics alertly got two back.
Well, Robert Parrish is out, and they put Darren Day at that forward spot in hopes that they can get some fast breaks, the Celtics.
So McHale is playing the center position now for Boston. Laimbeer buries another one. No stopping Bill Laimbeer. He has 18 points and picks off a pass.
A poor pass by Larry Bird.
Mahorn. And the lead is 13.
And picking out the right matchups to go to. Bird in the low post.
Steal. And Thomas is fouled by Danny Ainge. And this place is rocking.
Laimbeer is really hustling all over the court today. Doing a great job. You'll see him at the top of your screen. Just turn and look for the pass as McHale was open for just an instant, but not long enough.
Who builds the best family wagons in America? 200 owners of Ford and GM cars compared Dodge Caravan and Plymouth Voyager with new V6 power to Ford Aerostar and Chevy Astro. After judging 45 important features, they rated Chrysler's front-wheel drive family wagons best. 79% chose Voyager and Caravan over Astro, 84% chose them over Aerostar. And only Chrysler's family wagons get a new 770 protection plan. End of test.
If your house was destroyed, would your insurance pay to completely rebuild?
Leave it to the good hands, people.
If you had an Allstate home replacement cost guarantee, it would.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Tuesday, live from Singapore, 68 of the world's most beautiful women compete in the event of the year. Join hosts Bob Barker and Mary Brand for the 1987 Miss Universe pageant.
We're back here at the Pontiac Silverdome with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and the fans are out in force, where the Detroit Pistons have opened up an 80-67 lead, and there is William Davidson, who's the managing partner of the Detroit Pistons, and he has his own half-court basketball court at home, glass backboards and everything, and he plays one-on-one with Isaiah Thomas. I wonder if Isaiah lets him win once in a while.
Who do you guess wins those games?
Always the man who pays the bill. Signs the checks, right? The Pistons, front court is a perfect 8-for-8 shooting this period. But beyond that, Tommy, what's behind the Pistons running out to their biggest lead?
You know, when you use a pace game, it comes in bunches in the third and fourth quarter when the big people of the other ball club wear down. And right now, Isaiah and the rest of the Pistons are trying to capitalize on that.
14-point lead. Dantley, and there's Thomas racing down court. And Dantley in trouble against Day. Casey Jones looking for a foul, a pushing off arm foul against Dantley, and instead a foul call against Darren Day.
I think he was really screaming, Casey Jones, and so was Jimmy Rogers, that Sam Vincent got fouled on the shot. He almost got knocked off the court.
There's Jimmy Rogers, along with Chris Ford, the assistants for Casey Jones. Dantley spins in. McHale gets a piece of it, but Laimbeer follows up.
When you have to go to the penetration, Dick, like McHale did, Laimbeer goes right to the glass.
Vincent gets it into McHale. Laimbeer. Mahorn. Ainge misses a three, and Fred Roberts misses. And a foul against the Pistons. The Pistons have outscored the Celtics 23-9 here in the third period.
You're going to see Darren Day trying to stop Danley. McHale goes to the penetration, and look at Lambier. Just slips it right inside and picks the ball up for two. The rotation down to Lambier, not quite fast enough to block him out.
Lambier with his second personal foul. And Fred Roberts in the game on the line. So Casey Jones is trying to survive with Vincent, Roberts, and Day from the bench. Thomas getting a breather and a good time to rest Isaiah Thomas, and Larry Bird also on the sidelines for the Celtics.
With Darren Day in the lineup right now, they will really run, and Fred Roberts. The Celtics try to get it back quickly with this unit. And better aggressive pressing defense.
Danley to Dumars. Mahorn against McHale turns it over. 5:20 remaining in the third period, and the Pistons have outrun and outgunned the Celtics and to build up an 18-point lead. Right now it's 85-68, a 17-point lead, and KC calls a 20-second timeout. This series, of course, moves on, no matter who wins this game, to Boston Garden on Tuesday night for game number 5. If the Pistons win this game, we'll be back here Thursday night, prime time at 9 o'clock Eastern if necessary, if we go to 6. And right now, Casey Jones looks about as emphatic and decisive as we've seen him. Tommy?
He's getting mad, and he's looking at the officials saying, when we're going to the hoop, guys, we want to get some fouls too. And he's got right now an aggressive defensive unit in there, and I'm sure that they'll go out to press and then try and convert it into some easy hoops.
And a new clock as Mahorn kicks the ball, and that allows John Sally to go in for Mahorn, who should get a hand. Mahorn has scored 12 points and has 5 rebounds.
And effectively really worked on Robert Parrish, blocking him off the board whenever he could.
That was the move made yesterday by Chuck Daly when he put Mahorn on Parrish. Sam Vincent draws the foul. The Pistons are in the penalty. The Celtics have 14 fouls, and looking at Lambier's 20, he has really responded to yesterday's altercation, hitting his last 6 and has 11 rebounds to go along with those 20 points.
Well, he wasn't kidding when he said, I'm going to play my game. And our little chat with him before this ball game, and he has done exactly that. I think his juices have risen to where it sharpened his outside shot, however.
And Larry Bird on the bench right now with 14 points. A 15-point lead, 5 minutes to go. Third period. Dumars on a pick and roll. Makes a tough shot and draws the foul. Great play by Dumars.
That was one of the outstanding plays of this ball game, because Dumars was drifting and on the way down and still took the blow from McHale. You watch here, on the way down, takes the blow from McHale and still can power it up and in. That's balance.
So the quiet Southerner from McNeese State in Louisiana, and a #1 draft pick last year, celebrating his 24th birthday today, has his first points of the game. He has 3, but the Pistons that's their biggest lead of 18. Sally called for goaltending and gives Sam Vincent the basket.
They are back to fast break basketball with Sam Vincent. He's got some people on the wings that he can go to. It's no half-court offense now for the Celtics.
And a 2-shot foul as Danley is hit, going inside. And Tommy, really, it was Adrian Dantley in the fast break that started the Pistons off to this great third period as Greg Kite replaces Kevin McHale.
I think Isaiah also contributed by the hard push of the ball up the court. It appeared to me at the beginning of this third quarter that the mentality was to slow it down, but Isaiah would not let that happen.
Danley has struggled from the free throw line this afternoon. And looking for his 20th point. Dumars harassing Sam Vincent, and there's Kite moving up to set a screen. Darren Day lays it in, and Tommy, Casey Jones really going with the bench exclusively here to try to get something going, and he's resting his veterans.
And these people will move their feet a lot quicker than the starting five, and they can really press.
Vinnie Johnson picks up where he left off with 19 now in the game. He had 15 in the second period. Under 4 minutes to go in the third, and a foul against John Sally. That'll be his third foul, and everything is shooting the rest of the way in the quarter.
You know, with the Celtics' first five, there are very few people that can really drive to the basket with a quick first step. Bird does it with a dribble, much like Dantley does. Kevin McHale with the up fakes and what have you. And Dennis Johnson is not that quick a foot driving to the hoop, but Day and Sam Vincent are, and that might play a factor in them making a comeback, taking it strong to the hoop.
So it's a twofold thing, hopefully. Use the young legs or the younger legs and rest the veterans in case the Celtics can get close, then they can bring in their iron again.
That's the old theory, Dick. Let the guys on the bench wear their legs out on a comeback and have your guys well rested for the last 4 minutes.
Vinnie Johnson misses, and Vincent getting the rebound for Boston and pushing it up with 3:40 to go in the period. Darren Day to Fred Roberts, and the basket counts. Everyone in the act now for the Celtics. And the foul is against Lane Beer, number 3 on Bill.
When you prepare for a team that you think is not going to run, which I'm sure Chuck Daly did, and all of a sudden you see these guys come off the bench and they're putting their quick feet to work, the Robertsons and the Days, you've got to make a quick adjustment.
Dantley goes out. He has 20 points, 11 this period, as Dennis Rodman returns. So Chuck Daly going with a young pair of legs of his own in Rodman.
And speed, too, to try and match Day and Fred Roberts at the wings.
And just for good measure, he's going to get a little muscle in there. When we come out of our next break, timeout Detroit, Rick Mahorn will return. Well, yesterday in Seattle, James Worthy continued his brilliant playoff performance. He keeps going a step higher on the ladder. 27-30, 39 points. And Worthy spearheaded the Lakers to a commanding 3-0 lead over the Seattle Sonics. And tomorrow you'll see Game 4 of that best-of-7 Western Conference Final at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Brent Musburger and Billy Cunningham will be at courtside in Seattle as Bernie Bickerstaff's team will try to avoid a sweep. Seattle's a definite team of the future, and maybe their future is sooner than many expect. And the Lakers are inexorably moving into another date for the championship here. Tommy, the Boston Celtics right now trailing, and the one thing a lot of people didn't expect might happen in this game, of all the alternatives, would be a possible Piston blowout after yesterday. This is a surprise.
Not really to me, Dick, because 2 games in 2 days from a depleted team, that was very much in evidence. I thought yesterday that they could have accelerated that if they'd really faced the second half, too. But what's intriguing to me right now is that this bench of Boston is making a comeback bid with speed themselves, and Casey may change the complexion of his team and the games to come in this series.
Yesterday they got it down to 12 after it had been 23. Now it's down to 13, and with 3:29 to go in the third period, it's plenty of time, and a fresh team would be coming back in. So at least the Pistons, from their point of view, have not reverted to the half-court style. They started this period that way. They're not doing it that way now.
Isaiah was so important, but he's not in the ball game right now. And it's really going to depend upon who's going to handle the ball and how intelligent they're going to handle it and dish it off for the Pistons.
Rodman with Mahorn, Sally, Vinnie Johnson, and Dumars for the Pistons. Kite now on Vinnie Johnson. There he goes, 21 for Vinnie Johnson.
A jumping fire plug.
10 of 15 for Vinnie Johnson from the field. Vincent comes back with a pair, and Sam has 11. He had 18 yesterday, and he is really showing the Boston Celtics what he can do. I think he may become a solid guy in their scheme of things.
And maybe he should have been a lot earlier.
Vinnie Johnson against Kite. 7 on the shot clock. Loses the ball to Roberts. Danny Ainge, who did not start, but has come off the bench. First action in the series, goes for 3. Pistons are running, and there's Sally filling the lane.
That's what he was in there for. Hit the board, and with that speed, still fill the lane. That's great movement and a great adjustment by Chuck Daly.
The lead is 15. Ainge looking at the 7-footer Sally. Day going inside. Darren Day coming off his longest playoff stint of 26 minutes yesterday. But Detroit's running game has been the answer so far. Less than 2 minutes to go in the period, and Larry Bird loosening up at the scorer's table. He'll be coming in. Mahorn passing inside, and a foul to Dumars. Good pass by Ricky Mahorn. Foul is on Greg Kite, and here's Bird, who's had a long rest, coming in, replacing Kite.
And he is going to play center, I think, unless Fred Roberts assumes that duty. So they're going total speed. Here's the pass inside, and Kite quickly over the top to try and save it. Easy 2 points. Who will end up playing Larry Bird up the other end? Ricky Mahorn or John Sally? And Ken Mahorn, if he plays
or Rodman,
forced to play Roberts,
maybe
can
Rodman
he stay with him up the court? A little matchup game going on here. Chess in action. One team goes small, then the other team matches it, then goes smaller and quicker.
And they've got Mahorn on Bird. 3-point shot by Danny Ainge, his second of the ball game. And it's 97-85. The Celtics cut it to 12.
Casey Jones, in essence, is willing to throw this game wide open with these substitutions.
Vinnie Johnson and Rodman keeps it alive with 1:20 to go in the period. Bird is in there, and you can expect the other starters as well before long. Celtics would like to get it to 10 or less before the end of this period.
You might not see Robert Parrish, however, unless they really get it down close.
Mahorn misses the inside shot, and the Celtics with Ainge pushing it up, goes the distance, blocked by Rodman, and a 4-on-2 for Detroit. And Mahorn and Day. And Ron Rothstein and Dick Versace, Chuck Daly's assistants, have to get Mahorn away from Day, who commits the foul. And the cheerleader, Rodman, you better not be too premature with the number 1.
Let's watch what happens here as Mahorn takes it and just walks up, and Day just gave him a push, which was really not deserved, I don't think. I don't know where that came from. And Mahorn reacts.
I didn't see it here, but
Well, it was Day. Right there, 5 fouls on Darren Day on the personal.
Out of bounds?
Yeah, but it's before the throw-in, the fight. You know, we don't get 2 shots on that play. That's the same play you had in Cleveland.
One shot and give it back to him.
Technical foul.
And I heard the word technical foul.
The ball may not have been in play.
Right.
And that's what they were trying to determine. If the ball is not in play and there is a foul, that automatically is a 2-shot situation. And the question is, was it in play or not?
And it's going to be a technical foul.
So that is really like a flagrant thing, that they're fighting type of foul that they called yesterday on Lambier and then on Bird.
No personal foul is given today, so he still has 4. And the Pistons lead by 15. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn at the Pontiac Silverdome. Under a minute to go in the 3rd period. As Bird loses it out of bounds, the Detroit Pistons, looking to win their 2nd in a row at home and even this best of 7 at 2 apiece. And a far cry better than the way they played in games 1 and 2.
They have got their dander up, the Pistons. It's going to turn into a terrific series.
Dumars. The Celtics had it down to 12, and now it's 17 for the Pistons. Vincent gets the basket. And Sam Vincent with 13 points, 8 here in the third period, going to the line to complete a three-point play. And the personal on Dumars. Teams are protecting the ball fairly well today.
One of the things that people say, why didn't Sam Vincent play an awful lot? One of the reasons is because the Celtics don't consider themselves a fast break team, and Sam is a prime middleman for a fast break team.
Latest college ball at Michigan State. So he relishes playing 2 good games back-to-back here in Pontiac. Dumars in the crowd. Everyone getting in the act for the Pistons today, and Rodman and Roberts got hooked up momentarily. 1 second to go. Bird. Almost. But that's the end of the third period with the score. Pistons 104, the Celtics 88. And we'll return to the Silver Dome after this word from your local station. And they're celebrating in Detroit. The game isn't over, but they like what they see as you look at the key points of this game, including Vinnie Johnson's 23 off the bench. Tommy, we remember Game 4 at Joe Louis Arena 2 years ago when Vinnie lit it up for 22 in the fourth period to bring the Pistons back in a victory.
And that's when I fell in love with him. I'll tell you, I never saw a player as hot as he was that day. And he's had a reputation, I think, ever since. But he certainly has been a factor in the 2 wins here, or the 1 win yesterday and a potential win here today.
So at the start of the final period, the Pistons scored 42 points in the third period after scoring 30 or more in the first 2. Thomas has Dantley. Goaltending as Vincent traps it against the glass.
What an effort by Sam Vincent to go back and try and play the 3 of them. But are the Detroit Pistons ever alert? They're going to pile it up if at all possible.
McHale in the game. Bird in the game. Haynes, who has hit 2 3-pointers, misses. Inside Dantley. And the basket is reverberating as the Celtics bring it back. Vincent to McHale.
Kevin McHale from Sam Vincent.
That's the type of player Sam Vincent is. He can dish it. He read the defense. He made Lambier move. Created the opening for McHale.
106-90. The biggest leads, the Pistons had an 18-point lead in the third period, established one at 106-88 early here. And the Celtics will have to go to the blackboard to do something defensively against this team as Bird on the break to Ames. Ames will get 2. The Pistons have scored 31 in the first, 31 in the second, and 42 in the third period today. And they scored 122 in yesterday's game.
They're going to have a big afternoon this afternoon.
And we're only a minute and a half into this fourth period. 5 on the clock, and you might call that a Sally-oop. Dantley gets the basket.
Well, they missed the foul on Fred Roberts on John Sally, but they picked it up on Adrian Dantley. The alley-oop, and you watch Sam Vincent, and Fred Roberts comes over to help out, does a great job. Really was a foul there, and then they really tie up Adrian Dantley.
The Sally-oop.
A Sally-oop. Oh, come on. I'm leaving.
Roberts committed the foul, and Dantley now with 25 points. That's what he had yesterday, but he got them all in the first half yesterday. Bird. And Larry Bird with his first points of this fourth period. 16 in the game. Illegal defense against the Boston Celtics.
Adrian Dantley, every once in a while, just has a tendency to hold onto the ball and pound it into the ground. That's what coaches used to call pounders. And when they start dribbling and everybody starts standing around, they drive you crazy.
I know he's driving you crazy, and I guess the 4 other guys who are standing around waiting for something to happen. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Pistons.
There's a little pounding going on by Isaiah right now.
He's doing the same thing Dantley did. Sally says enough of this. And it's Detroit ball still, and a new clock.
And guess who saved the rebound? Vinny Johnson.
This is an official's timeout.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. The All-You-Can-Be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Basketball's version of a home run is the three-pointer. Like its baseball counterpart, the three-pointer can seal a game's fate, and once in flight, fans rise to cheer its graceful arc and impressive distance. By specializing in the NBA's most daring shot, Kiki Vandeweghe has used the three-pointer to be the best he can be.
In the Army, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
Hey, where did you learn about computers?
In the Army.
You were in the Army, too?
Qualify for the GI Bill and the Army College Fund, and you can earn over $25,000 for college.
What you do in the Army?
Airborne.
You used to jump out of airplanes?
Time to go, boys. You've been in there long enough.
Hey, we're not even tired. I feel good.
So I've checked the mileage, and it's...
Hey, we're the order lights. We're guaranteed.
guaranteed.
I feel good. Yeah, 2 years, no matter how far we go.
But no spark plug guarantees that.
We do. Yeah, we're the auto lights. So go pull the plug on somebody else.
Okay.
It's an absolutely scrumptious Sunday here in Seattle on this Memorial Weekend. In just a couple of moments, it'll be the Los Angeles Lakers' turn to take to the court for their practice session as they gear up for a possible sweep in Game 4 of tomorrow's Western Conference Final against Seattle. Looking at head coach Bernie Bickerstaff, you couldn't tell that his Supersonics are just one game away from elimination. Not by the look of his team either, as they went through a loose but spirited workout this morning.
We've got to just buckle up and just come out and play the same game we've played the last 3 games. But try to make those little mistakes go away, please.
The first step of that difficult task will have to begin tomorrow afternoon on a special Memorial Day edition of the NBA on CBS. Now let's take you back to Detroit.
All right, thank you very much, JB. So that's Game 4 tomorrow. That's the way Bernie Bickerstaff has run things this year. Very cool, calm, and collected. Trying to trap Vinny Johnson, leaving Lambeer free. Sally in better position.
Once again, an excellent pass by Bill Lambeer.
111-94, Detroit. Bird finds Roberts, who loses the ball.
The 2 points, but looked to the basket before he caught the ball.
Tommy, it's amazing the way the complexion of a series changes after the first 2 games. A lot of people thought Detroit really had no chance with the way they come out in Boston.
Well, I think that they have an excellent basketball team because they got a combination of a lot of things, and maybe a combination of more things than the Celtics. They've got speed, power, a bench, the reserves, outside shooting, and the one weakness that the Pistons have is low post game. Here's Lambeer, just heads up, good passing from on top. And there's the big leap by John Sally for the cram.
Roberts committing the foul. Dantley against Roberts. Whirling Dervish has 27 points. And he has 18 in this half. Haynes. Seeing his first action in the series with 12 now. And there's Isaiah Thomas going the distance.
And that's move on Isaiah's part. Keep pushing the pace.
Biggest lead of the game right here by the Pistons, 19 points. And they'll get the ball to add to more right now. Connor Henry's going to come in for the Celtics, and so this game, a carbon copy of yesterday's in many respects.
But the explosion came in the middle of the third quarter.
Instead of the first half. Vinnie Johnson with 25. 25 for Johnson, 20 for Lambier, 27 for Dantley. And a Piston foul against Vinnie Johnson, and that will be his second.
Here comes Adrian Dantley. Watch this spin move. He gets Robertson. Great defensive position. Overcommits to the baseline. Now that is a difficult shot from where he took off to make that type of a roll move and then lay it in like that. It's about a 6-foot shot, and those are the toughest.
Haynes goes out, and Connor Henry, the three-point shooter, is in. McHale. Basket will count, and McHale will go to the line to complete a three-pointer.
Detroit foul number 40, Bill Lambier.
Bill Lambier's fourth foul.
44, Rick Mahorn back into the Detroit lineup, replaces Bill Lambier.
Rick Mahorn replaces Lambier. Listen to the cheers for him.
He did his job today. He was exceptional, in my opinion. He hit those key outside shots, and Larry Bird may not have answered this game in a correct emotional way. I think he might have overreacted, broken his pattern.
Sally again. Not that time. Rebound McHale. 117-98. Vincent. And Kite. Can't save it into the green shirt. Thomas the trailer. And another turnover.
Celtics getting totally out of control right now. Sam Vincent trying to create a great shot on every thrust up the court. But that's understandable. He doesn't have all the experience in the world.
The lead is 21. Mahorn. Chuck Daly can relax the rest of this game.
I don't know why Kevin McHale is still in this ball game.
Detroit's winning big right now. Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien. Pat.
All right, Dick, thank you. If Isaiah Thomas is the president of the Silver Dome, here's the First Lady, Lynn Thomas. What's Isaiah like when they were down in this series? What was he like at home?
He was just really concentrating on what he had to do, and he just never gave up hope that they were going to come through and do it.
A little better mood now, I guess, right?
Oh, he's ecstatic.
Chris Lambier is Bill's wife, and I guess, does Bill like being the center of attention like he was yesterday?
No, he'd rather avoid that kind of thing, but a little bit I think is inevitable in this kind of series.
What's his mood at home now these days, that they're doing well again?
He's very optimistic. He's known all season they've had a good team, and they're playing real well now, so they're looking forward to L.A.
Thank you both. Behind great men are great women. Here they are. Let's go back to Dick.
20 points and 12 rebounds for Bill Lambier. Connor Henry hits a two-point shot, and it's 121 to 100.
Well, they lifted Kevin McHale during that timeout. That was a good move.
Harris, who played 22 of the 24 minutes, not much in the second half as the Pistons taking the game away. Larry Bird on the bench. Dantley gets the basket, draws the foul from Darren Day, and that'll be 5 on Day. 29 for Adrian Dantley, and that is his playoff high this season.
You know, Adrian Dantley is much like Larry Bird in that he is the master of the half inch. All you have to do is get a man moving a half inch to create an opening for your shooting hand. And he does that with his wide body and also with some good up fakes.
Danley with 30. And halfway through this fourth period, it's already 124 to 100. Blocks inside, and Vinnie Johnson out of the pack. Thomas for 3. And quickly, Day comes back with 2. Damage has long been done here in this game number 4. 127 to 102.
What's happening right now is Boston is sitting on the bench, their starters, and they're watching all of this, and they're going to have their dander up when they get back.
Well, they were supposed to have their dander up today.
I didn't think physically they'd be able to dander anything, and then I was very concerned about Bird, his emotional reaction, and I think he did really overreact, and he took himself out of this ball game by trying to do too much with anxiety.
Well, he did not come out early for his normal pre-warm-up shoot-around, which has really been his trademark as long as anyone can remember. And it was a shock today not to see Larry Bird come out an hour or so before the game and take 100 jump shots from around the horn.
And it was said that he was boiling mad today, still, a day later, about what happened.
The Celtics have given up the most points this year. Right here, 129. As Sam Vincent comes back with 16 in the game. 129. And I don't know how many playoff games the Celtics have given up more than what we have here either. Vinnie Johnson. And it's last touch by Roberts. And into the game is Rodman and Dumars. Listen to the hand for Danley and Thomas. He'll rest the rest of the game.
Isaiah did an outstanding job, made things happen, scored when he had to, and Danley did the same thing.
Rodman. Danley scored 32, and Isaiah Thomas had 22. Fred Roberts hits from outside, and it's 131 to 106. What a game he's had offensively. Mahorn with 17. Vincent blocked by Mahorn, and the Pistons are breaking the bank today. The all-time Piston playoff high, 133, and Mahorn leaves the game. Points. And Vinnie Johnson goes out. 25. In 30 minutes for Vinnie Johnson. And a foul against Tony Campbell.
You know, Dick, the one thing that has to be kept in perspective here is that with this win today of Detroit,
just one win,
all they have done is hold serve in a 4 out of 7 series. Boston won the 2 at the Boston Garden. These have been the more dramatic wins, but I would say that Boston, because of their injury problem, a 5-point win is a dramatic win for them. They've been like Custer's last stand, fighting off waves of Indians against Milwaukee and against the fast pace of these Pistons.
And also keep in mind that the Pistons will go back to Boston Garden, having lost 16 in a row at Boston Garden. So the history is not on their side as they go to Game 5.
Fred Auerbach used to say, you can lose by 20 or lose by 2. It makes no difference. It's a loss.
Nymphius gets it in, and it's 135 to 108. No basket, offensive interference. Well, Tommy, you're right. The Celtics are coming back home, and it'll now be a best-of-3 series, with the Celtics having 2 games in Boston Garden. So they still have the advantage. There's no mistaking that. However, after game 2, no one, I don't think, of the so-called experts thought that the Pistons would win 2 decisive games like this. Tomorrow, on Memorial Day, it'll be the Lakers and Sonics game 4, the Western Final, with the Lakers with a chance to close it out. That's at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And Thursday, Tom and I will be back at the Silverdome at 9 o'clock Eastern for game 6 of this best-of-7 series. Sidney Green, forgotten man on the Pistons, replaces John Sally. Fans are having a ball today here in Pontiac.
Well, they've seen explosive basketball, and that is really an exciting thing to see a team just explode the way they did in the third quarter. But what more importantly, what's happened in these 2 games in the Silverdome is the Pistons have found a very significant way to beat the Celtics. Can they apply it, the same treatment at the Boston Garden?
It'll be a different game in Boston Garden. They won't have the fans, they won't have the familiar court and all the lights they like. The parquet floor is kind to the Celtics. And I think the Celtics are well aware of that.
And they came in and they were intimidated, it appeared to me, in the first 2 games by that building.
Dumars. 11 for Dumars. 7 players in double figures for Detroit today. They had 6 in doubles yesterday. And Roberts is fouled. But if anything could give the Pistons a tremendous boost in confidence, it'd be winning these 2 games the way they have.
In
Tommy, what do you think the mood of the Boston Celtics is right now as you look at the scoring in the game?
Well, I think that the Boston Celtics are saying to themselves, well, the cat is out of the box. Now we've got to do something about it. They know they're going to have to stop the pace game. They only had 1 day to adjust to that. And they also had big worries about Robert Parrish. The extra day off for Robert Parrish might be meaningful. They came away with a plus in Danny Ainge being able to play significant minutes in this game, not looking out of shape and not looking like that knee was bothering him.
So the burden of proof in game 5 will really be on the Pistons, even though the Celtics have lost the last 2. Keep in mind, in the last series against Milwaukee, the Celtics had a 3-1 lead after 4 games. Rodman from Dumars, and it's 141 to 109. And the Bucks came back to win games 5 and 6 and force it into 7, so the Pistons are in better shape than the Bucks were.
And they really do have a better style to beat Boston than the Bucks did, because they are a true fast break basketball team. It's how effectively they keep attacking and how consistently they keep laying the rubber to Boston and their starters.
Darren Day on the line, and Day has scored 11 points off the bench.
Darren Day at the line, 1 plus the bonus.
A couple of pluses in this game. After 2 games, Sam Vincent and Darren Day ought to have given Casey Jones enough proof that they are worthy of coming off the bench during Tuesday night's ball game in Boston.
Point lead. They're yelling for Chuck Nevitt, I believe, the 7'5"
Under 2 minutes to play.
Backup center. We're under 2 minutes to go. There's Chuck, who did play yesterday and scored. Connor Henry, and Roberts loses the ball out of bounds. And they're going to call the foul on Rodman, who tripped Fred Roberts.
Troy foul 10, Dennis Rodman, his second. Boston from the bonus. Fred Roberts at line to the Celtics, 1 plus the bonus.
The Brain Trust, Ron Rothstein, Chuck Daly, Dick Versace.
Remember, we came in on Friday and we saw. We actually woke Chuck Daly up.
He was asleep in his room with the lights out on the couch.
And I think he was dreaming of the game plan to beat Boston. And it wasn't a bad dream he had. It was a sweet dream.
He's a youthful-looking guy with a young attitude, which belies the fact that he's the 2nd oldest coach in the NBA. He'll be 57 years old soon. The only older coach in the league is Jack Ramsey.
You know, Casey Jones' birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, KC.
He's 55.
Not a happy birthday for Casey Jones. Tony Campbell misses from the corner, and Sidney Green, one of 3 natives of Brooklyn, New York on this Piston club. Vinnie Johnson, Sidney Green, and John Sally are all from Brooklyn. And a foul as Roberts goes strong to the hoop. There's the Celtic coaching staff. Jimmy Rogers, his son, very fine football player in New England and quarterback to play at Iowa, where Jimmy played. And Chris Ford, who was a great three-point shooter. And look at that, Tommy. A record has been set today. The most points allowed by the Boston Celtics in a playoff game. 143, and with 1:10 to go, count it.
They will forget about that very quickly. You know, Casey Jones, we were looking at him on the bench, Dick. I'd like to make a comment about him. I don't think anybody had a season where he got more of a commitment from his ball players by way of head, heart, and actual physical skills than Casey Jones did this year from his first 5.
Amen. Sidney Green. Hike the rebound. Vincent. Sam Vincent has 18 points. That's what he had yesterday to lead the Celtics. And believe it or not, whoever thought Sam Vincent would lead the Celtics in scoring 2 games in a row in the playoffs, but he has. Dumars. Basket counts and a foul. Pistons have scored 83 points this half. This is the 3rd time that the Pistons and Celtics have met in a playoff series. All of them, the previous 2, have been decided in 6 games, going to Boston in 1968 and then 2 years ago. And this is the 3rd different site. They played at Cobo Arena 19 years ago, in Joe Louis Arena downtown 2 years ago, and here we are at the Silverdome. Greg Kite tipped up, finally in by Roberts.
Connor Henry.
Make it Connor Henry. Standing ovation for the Pistons, who have evened this series at 2 apiece. They'll go back to Boston Tuesday. Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien, who's with Bill Laimbeer.
Bill, do you feel you've proved a point now by beating the Celtics twice in a row here?
Well, we're a very confident basketball team. You know, all we got to do now is figure out a way to win on the Boston Garden. That's the most important thing in our minds.
Were you nervous at the beginning? Did you have a little nerves today going in?
No, not at all. You know, in my mind, I know I didn't do anything wrong. It was an accident. And, you know, my reputation might not seem that way, but in my mind, I was perfectly confident.
Looking ahead to Game 5, are you, how about your reaction to you in Boston in the Garden? I don't mean to laugh about it.
It's just been a very warm reaction in the Garden. I'm sure all my fans there will give me a standing ovation.
All right, thank you, Bill. Congratulations. We'll see you. We'll be back with more from the Silverdome as the Pistons win this game. Let's go back to Dick and Tommy after this.
Pontiac, Michigan, with a huge victory for the Pistons to even the series at 2 apiece. And our Miller Lite player of the game is Adrian Dantley. Those were his numbers, but keep in mind he scored 23 in the second half and was the key man in the 3rd period when the Pistons, with a 4-point lead at the half, blew the game open. And Miller is proud to present a check for $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Society on behalf of Adrian Dantley.
All right, Dick, AD, congratulations. This was not only a win, this was a statement today, was it not?
Well, I'm sure they're going to be ready for us Tuesday night, and we just hope we can come out with the same effort.
You have waited a long time, haven't you, to get this far in the playoffs?
Yes, I've had some great individual years, but might not have the certain right type of ball players around me. But here, I'm very happy to be here, thanks to Utah.
And the crowd likes you as well. Looking ahead to Game 5 for us, what do you see there?
I expect Boston to come out fine, ready to go, and I'm sure they're going to try to do the same thing against us Tuesday night.
Thank you. Congratulations. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Dick.
All right. Thank you very much, Pat O'Brien. So